What's up, Lifestyle Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jared. Y'all, today we're going to be looking at a video from Anton, and I just want to say something here. You know it's disrespectful when a woman says that they want a square dude like Russell Wilson. Honestly, and I'm saying it like this. You know she don't respect you as a man. She calls you a square. You don't believe me? Look at this shit.
I'll have to do two videos on this. Channing Crowder of The Pivot. I saw the clip of these guys, Ryan Clark, Channing, having this conversation about Russell Wilson. And I'm going to say this, and I mean this from my heart. At what age, as black men, do you all give up wanting to be cool? Ryan Clark brought up the interview that Sierra did on The Breakfast Club and how he felt she handled it with grace. My issue is that what should have been done was you all should have been apologizing. Instead, you talked in circles and still ended up promoting this stereotype that black men are not cool if they not street niggas. On to say how Sierra handled this with grace, and because Channing's name was brought up by DJ Envy, and how the coolest thing about Russell Wilson is how he takes care of his family. Channing goes on to say that nobody's going to change his mind about what he said, and he said Sierra wouldn't have picked, she's from Atlanta, she wouldn't have picked a guy like Russell Wilson if she was still in Atlanta. Now,
that's true.
He then goes on to say that Russell Wilson would be considered cool to inner city Atlanta dudes like him. This man is 41 years old.
I think everybody is missing a plot. And I also think that women are being intentional in missing a plot and that they are not addressing the elephant in the room. I believe that what most guys, I can't speak for Channing because he needs to learn how to articulate himself and communicate more effectively, in my opinion. What most guys are saying is that it's unfortunate that a lot of guys are considered lames to the women that wouldn't give them a chance until after they became a single mother and or had been dealing with the future types, and then they want to go over to the Russell Wilsons afterwards. Now, I'm not going to speak on the Sierra situation and all of that because that's a dead horse. We didn't already covered that 1,000 times. But that is what he, I believe, or most guys are saying has nothing to do with the culture. But let's continue.
With 3 children, his oldest being a girl. So what you're telling me and the rest of the world is that it's okay for your daughter to go out and date a future because he's cool.
That's not what he's saying.
But not Russell Wilson because he's not cool to inner city guys. The ridiculous thing to me is that you are even using inner city dudes from Atlanta as a place to measure. You're measuring Russell Wilson. You're comparing Russell Wilson to dudes in Atlanta who probably ain't never left the hood. And this right here, this type of shit right here, is why it is so difficult for young black boys to ever see themselves being an individual. This is what happens when you give ignorance money. This is what happens when the only option that a lot of them feel they have is rap, the streets, and fucking sports. Why is it that we want to put lame next to people who don't want to share in those experiences of having to come out of the trenches? That wasn't.
I don't believe that Russell Wilson is a lame. I believe that Russell Wilson is cool. I believe that he is speaking on our cultural norms and the nature of women within that culture. Now, I do like to say that she's right about the idea that we have it all wrong and backwards when we like to label dudes that do the right thing, take care of business, never been arrested, ain't in the streets, and we like to label them lames. That goes without saying. But as far as her point towards what people are communicating when it comes to the fact that y'all are reciting Sierra's prayer, but y'all go out there and slut it out with dudes that y'all not supposed to be with, while at the same time, now later on in your life, thinking that a Russell Wilson is supposed to come and save you.
You know what I'm gonna say about this, and I agree with what Anton's saying. A lot of women want Sierra's prayer after they've went out here and done all this shit with all these men, all these different hood niggas. Why is? But here's where the problem comes in. And people, specifically, these types of people, women, specifically these types of women, they always want to be, they want to have their fun, but they don't want to actually take responsibility when it matters. Because everybody knows, everybody can see the future types. Everybody can see that shit from fucking a mile away. Now, certain circumstances may happen, but we're gonna negate that because it still doesn't change anything really. But when you have people like the future types that are out here fucking everything, walking, doing everything, doing all this different shit, y'all see who these type of dudes are. Like, we're not gonna sit here and act like y'all don't know. There's a certain aura about these type of guys. There's a certain fucking look to these type of guys. Dreadhead wearing, having weed smoking, I don't give a shit attitude. You can pretty much tell what kind of dude he is. Either he's a fucking nigga or he's a nigga that just don't give a fuck. You know who the fuck it is. Everybody knew who the fuck Future was when he first came out. Everybody knew who that nigga was. But as far as be a square and all this shit, be a lame, it ain't even being a lame. It's just being a fucking man with responsibilities. And I know a lot of guys rag on Russell because he chose Sierra, and now that Russell's about to give Little Future his last name, to be honest with you, and even I said some stupid shit at one point. To be honest with you, he kind of did win at the end. Not a perfect prize, but he did kind of win. I mean, she came with baggage, but to be honest with you, at this point, even if she still do the shit she do, he still kind of did win. And it's hard for me to even say that shit. But as far as like being be a squared black man like Russell, no. If you don't want me when I'm building myself up, you don't deserve me when I built myself up. And that's where I'm gonna land that plane. Because far too many people like this, not her specifically, but far too many people want to go fuck around and have a whole bunch of kids and then be over here like, where are all the good men at? No, you don't get to do that. That ain't how this go. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, channel, support the podcast, support.com. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening. Bye, guys.